If you live in California, you'll not want to miss these important episodes on planning commissions impact your community on the Real Estate and More show. Who wants a 400-unit high-density housing development built in your backyard? Or what about a chemical plant, industrial building, or even a refinery built next to your child's school? Who is to pay for roads to new housing, or is there enough fire and police services to handle a disaster? Who decides on what is appropriate for your neighborhood? Your planning commission. Everything a county planning commission does affects residents of that county. In 2 segments on the Real Estate and More show, Planning Commissions Impact Community, Part 1, and Planning Commissions Impact Community, Part 2, Contra Costa Planning Commissioner Ross Hillesheim shares aspects of current items before his county's commission. On the Real Estate and More show episode Part 1, Commissioner Hillesheim dives into the hot topic of the state of California's high-density housing elements plan currently before his planning commission. Find out what exactly is the housing elements plan, what it could mean to you as a county resident, and from where will the proposed high-density housing funding come from? What necessary added infrastructure would be required to support the added developments also is a question. The state housing elements plan is currently before every county planning commission in the state. Get involved, but first hear this important Part 1 episode airing on January 20th at 9:30 on KGO 810 AM radio and at 12:30 noon on KSFO 560 AM radio. In the following week's episode Part 2, hear what the Contra Costa County Planning Commission is doing to address environmental concerns, community engagement, infrastructure planning, economic development, and disaster preparedness. Also, Commissioner Hillesheim shares his long-term vision in exciting Part 2. This episode, Planning Commission's Impact Community, Part 2, airs on January 27th at 9 a.m. on KGO 810 AM and at 12 noon on KSFO 560 AM radio. If you live in California, you'll not want to miss these important episodes on planning commissions impact your community on the Real Estate and More show. If you live in California, it's also a great idea to check out both episodes. Both episodes of the show become available on major podcast platforms after they air.